Hello friends, and we are back with Darkest True Crime Headlines. And this is a story that it has been on my radar for true crime happening right now, alleged true crime, because this is an ongoing case. Alleged true crime happening right now. South Carolina lawyer Alex Murdaugh charged with killing wife and son. And, it's strange in this case even to say alleged true crime because whether or not Mr. Murdaugh is entirely innocent or is completely guilty, that has yet to be decided by our justice system. Members of this family were gunned down in a highly suspicious set of circumstances, and I followed a few of these mystery, high-profile cases, Casey Anthony, JonBenet Ramsey, things like this. But this is a new one that I haven't looked into yet. So forgive me if you already know about this case and I say anything ignorant because I'm not up on all the facts. This is actually the first article where I'm going to focus on it and begin my own research on this. And then I'll do follow-up videos and we can discuss, personal opinions or just little thoughts about this case. So let's read together and we can react to it as we go. The scrutiny of last year's murders remained high as Mr. Murdaugh was indicted on a series of financial crimes, and the police re-examined the deaths of several people associated with his family. Alex Murdaugh, the fourth-generation lawyer whose family has long held power and influence in a rural swath of South Carolina, was charged Thursday with killing his wife and one of his sons at the family's secluded hunting estate in a mysterious murder that remains unsolved for more than a year. Mr. Murdaugh, 54, was indicted on 2 counts of murder, with prosecutors saying he fatally shot his wife, Maggie Murdaugh, 52, with a rifle and his son, Paul Murdaugh, 22, with a shotgun, on June 7, 2021. Alex Murdaugh had called 911 that night from the family's estate in Islington, about 65 miles west of Charleston, saying he had returned home to find his wife and son dead near his dog kennel. And these are a few points of the case that I am familiar with. This estate was a hunting estate, and it was so expensive. It had literally its own dog kennels. And something that keeps coming up, and maybe there are theories, or I'm sure there are at this point, but I haven't read into it yet, is one was killed with a rifle and one was killed with a shotgun. And why would you change weapons? I'll have to read on. That's going to be one of my main bullet point notes for my own research in this case. So the deaths immediately put scrutiny on the Murdaugh family and the deaths of several people associated with them, as well as the sway the family held in the region. Mr. Murdaugh's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather had each served as the top prosecutor in a vast region at the southern end of the state known as the South Carolina Low Country. Very interesting, very compelling. If true, local de facto royalty can really get up to some, I recently learned, and I'm not saying this is related per se, but I recently learned about the boys on the tracks out of Arkansas. And local prosecutors are not entirely immune from mixing it up with the very kinds of people they're meant to prosecute. Again, with no implied direct comment on this case, but it is an interesting parallel. The police began to re-examine the 2015 death of Stephen Smith, a 19-year-old man who was found along a road about 10 miles from the Murdaugh home and was thought to have been hit by a truck, as well as the death of Gloria Satterfield in 2018, a housekeeper who worked for the Murdaugh family and died after falling on their house's front steps. The police said last month that they plan to exhume Miss Satterfield's body. Wow, which implies, I'm not sure if an autopsy has already been performed in this case, but an exhumation implies a re-examination of the body, which means they're taking it very seriously at the very least. The article goes on and says they have not accused anyone of wrongdoing in either of the deaths, and that's important to remember. Crazier things have happened. One thing I studied, the JonBenet Ramsey case, and there are 4 main schools of thought. I can do a different video on that, but I studied each of them, and they each make sense, and they each have issues. And I have a favorite one that I truly believe is what happened, but I was not there, and that bears remembering. The fallout went further as two associates of Mr. Murdaugh, a lawyer and a former chief executive of a South Carolina bank, were charged this year with various conspiracy and financial fraud crimes in what prosecutors described as schemes to misappropriate money in aid of Mr. Murdaugh. Altogether, Mr. Murdaugh has been charged with fraudulently pocketing about $8.5 million, according to the South Carolina Attorney General. This is incredible. As a true crime enthusiast, as an amateur journalist, if I may be so bold as to call myself that, this isn't. I can feel it in my bones that this is going to it's going to have tendrils. We're going to learn so much interesting stuff coming up. Before I go, I do want to apologize for my hiatus. I'm getting right back into it with the interviews with authors, more darkest true crime headlines. I'm going to be more active on this channel, and thank you, each of you, for sticking with me. Definitely, I'm opening my own personal case file on this, and I will report back with what else I can find. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.